Hey everyone, so this is a reading for your sun, moon, or rising. If you want to skip ahead to any particular area that has your interest, that is like top of mind, then I would check out the timestamps down below. Also, the live hangouts for cards and cocktails, and planning to do more of those. They've been going very well. I haven't chosen any dates for April yet, but the best way to stay on top of that and to find out when those are, to come hang out and get free tarot card pulls. It's just a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. It's a way for me to connect with people too. It's just fun. You can go check that out in my Instagram. So that's honestly the best way, is to follow me on Instagram to stay up on like when those get announced. So I try to do at least a couple different times to catch different time zones. The other thing is, and I'm going to keep this really short and succinct this month. Last month that was nuts. So let's keep this short and succinct. This is a collective reading, so keep that in mind. If this particular message doesn't resonate with you this month, it just wasn't your message this month. I would check out, if you're checking out your sun sign, rising, then check out your moon sign and see which one of those might resonate with you a little bit better this month. If you do want something that's more specific to what's going on in your life, I highly recommend booking a reading one-to-one. So all the links for that are down below. You can book a personal reading. You can get 20% off of your reading. You can get 50% off with a referral link. So all of that information is down below. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. The last thing that I want to say is there are new subscriptions that are available on Patreon. So if you're someone who really likes ongoing personal guidance with respect to what you're dealing with in this particular month or any month, I have weekly one-to-one, either live or recorded monthly subscriptions. So you can pay monthly to get weekly readings with me that are 30 minutes long. Or you can pay for monthly 90-minute readings with me, and those are also either live one-to-one or recorded for you. So those options are now available on Patreon. I'm still working on the website thing in the background. It has been a bananas month, you guys. So I'm going as fast as I can, but things are changing pretty rapidly. Anyhow, I think that's about all. Enjoy your readings, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye. Hello, Pisces, and welcome to your April 2022 reading. So I am super excited to do this for you guys today. Remember, it's a collective reading. Everything about collective readings I said in the beginning video right before this. So please check that out. Remember that if this resonates with you, it's your message. If it doesn't, then this isn't the particular month that this particular one resonates with you. I would check out, if this is your sun sign, check out your rising, then check out your moon sign. All right, without further ado, let's get going. All right, Pisces. How appropriate that we've got this blue. I just got this new cloth, and you guys are the second ones I'm using it on. I'm so excited. I know it's so dorky, but hey, you're here for tarot. So you gotta know that I'm a tarot geek, and that's part of it. All right, what's coming up for my Pisces in the month of April? All right, I decided to use my Fae deck for you guys. I was just feeling it. I was like feeling the Fae energy for you guys. And what about what's coming up for the challenge? Overall challenge for the month of April for my Pisces, sun, moon, or rising. Okay. And what's coming up for spiritual advice? Okay. And then we're going to take a look at also business, career, purpose, finances. So what is coming up for mine? Ooh, those came out. Got some stuff going on, huh, Pisces? Maybe, perhaps a little bit. Challenges. Spiritual advice. Okay, let's get into it. So I'm going to pull these out of frame, so we'll look at those in a moment. And let's focus on these particular cards for the overall. Now, this is the general overarching themes that are like happening throughout your experience in the month of April, right? So apply this to whatever feels like it's most applicable to. This could be, you know, about relationships or a career, or it feels like it's touching everything, like everything in your life is going this particular way. Okay. So first off, I'm seeing two slow moving cards. That's the feel of it, is like slower going versus what's happening here in the challenge. So let's first start with this. So what I'm seeing over here in the Eight of Pentacles, and because the details on this deck are so tiny, I want to see if I can get this close enough for you to be able to see some of the details. So it's a spider spinning its web, right? Perfecting its craft, perfecting its web with all of the details and the hard work and the time and the patience and the perseverance that goes into it, right? So when we're looking at the Eight of Pentacles, this is usually the card of craftsmanship, of honing a skill or skills. This, for some of you, could be about, maybe you are physically studying something in particular, like you're going back to school, or there's something that you've been studying, or whatever it is, but it's about having that dedication and continuing the course with that. So it's a very foundational piece. So if you're a student, if you're continuing education in your career path, whatever it is, there is some kind of honing of skills that's happening. When I'm looking over here, well, let's move over to the challenge card first. So with the challenge card, we see the Wheel of Fortune. So I want to make sure that I bring that up so you can kind of see. This is such a beautiful deck, you guys. So the Wheel of Fortune, when it's in the challenge position like this, it's like something about resisting change, feeling like things are moving too quickly for you to maybe flow with the changes, the way that they're happening, at the pace that they're happening, or just being resistant to it. You know, it's more painful when we're not able to allow things to move where the momentum's going. You know, sometimes we can shift and course correct and we can change the trajectory of things, and other times it feels kind of fated, like this is what's going to happen no matter what. And when we're trying to stop the wheel that is in motion, that is in consistent motion, right, the constant, which is change, we find that it's more difficult. We exert so much more effort and energy and tire ourselves out from trying to hold on to things staying the same. So perhaps while you're in an earth type of energy where you are like, that is a slow going energy, right? That's not quick change. Honing a craft takes time, right? So that's why I say it's a kind of feeling like a slower moving, earth is slower moving kind of energy, right? So it's this kind of, perhaps you're feeling like, I need more time and things are changing too quickly for me to be able to concentrate on this, and feeling maybe pulled in different directions, like just feeling pulled in your attention, even like other things are changing so rapidly that they require your attention, your time, and your energy, and yet you're trying to focus on building something, right? Now, it doesn't have to be school or a particular craft or whatever it is. This could be about just building something, right? Like the time that it takes to really create the structure. And then we have your spiritual advice. So your spiritual advice is the Justice card, and I think I'll just do close-ups for each of these so that you can see it. The Justice card is about, yes, deliberating, finding what the equilibrium is, what's fair, what feels good, like being discerning, trying to figure out the path and the next steps, right? That's part of it, right? Is weighing things out. And once again, weighing things out is in contrast to when things are moving more quickly than you would like, and it's feeling like a little bit more challenging to allow things to change and move quickly in another direction. Even if they're not moving quickly, the fact that things are shifting and changing, that you're having resistance to something with that, and wanting more time to deliberate, right? So, but your spiritual advice is telling you, despite the fact that things are moving in maybe in a fast-paced way, or that things are changing around you, and that particular change or the changes that are occurring are creating some challenges for you, that you can still be true to yourself. The Justice card is about being true to yourself. So when we talk about personal truths, right, we're talking usually about what's so for us, like what feels true for us, right, in our world, and what is an integrity for us, right? So know yourself well enough to know what is an integrity for you, what feels true to you, what feels true to your path, what feels true to where you're going in life, and stay true to yourself, stay aligned. You know, whatever kind of time you need to take to be in balance with yourself, to have that, create the space and time amidst the changes, amidst things going quickly. It's really easy. I know my last month was bananas, but the last 2 weeks have been crazy. So, and it's been hard to balance out self-care and sleep and, you know, still getting things done. And so I can totally get that. And also we're in a fast-paced part of the season, part of the year. And still finding even 5 minutes, 10 minutes to get centered with yourself so that you can be discerning, so that you can deliberate in the ways that you need to create space for what you're building, right? You can do that even when things are rapidly moving and things are changing around you. And yes, it's challenging, but the advice here is to stay true to yourself and make sure that you are being discerning, right? Weigh things out. All right, let's move those to the side. And then let's take a look at what we have going on, which was a lot going on here for the world of work, your passions, your finances. Okay. I almost want to switch these around, actually. Okay. That looks better. So for my purposes of storytelling. So what I'm seeing here is the Queen of Wands, one of my favorites. She's been popping up in a couple of readings this month for other signs. The Queen of Wands, passionate, burning passions, inspired, somewhat spontaneous, very generous and warm-hearted, fun. Like you want to be around her, right? She's just awesome. And uses, you know, her creativity often to inspire others. So these are these kinds of qualities that come with the Queen of Wands. Now, I don't always think that the court cards are associated with people. It can be. So if you know someone who this is like, it's an immediate yes to, okay, go with that. Otherwise, I'm going to say that these are qualities that are needing to be tapped back into, or that you're tapping back into with regard to your passions and purpose and your career, and this kind of feeling of like remembering like what brings you into that space of inspiration and what brings you into that space of happiness so that you can live your life in this way, right? There's also the Four of Wands. We have both the Four of Wands and Four of Swords that are here together, which is interesting because to me, like what stands out about having two fours in the same space is it's the number of foundation, right? Fours are about the foundations that we create. And when we're looking at the Four of Wands, so the Four of Wands is generally a card of victory, of like having accomplished quite a bit, or wanting to feel that feeling of like accomplishment, like I've put it in, I've put the work in, and now I want to feel celebrated, acknowledged, recognized for the work that I've put in, and needing to probably, I would say, maybe even recognize that for yourself. So if you're not already getting the recognition or accolades, then it's something to provide for yourself, but that's something that you've gone through. I'm getting the sense from what I'm seeing here that you've been like on some kind of journey with this. Maybe you've had a really heavy workload. I'm saying this because I'm seeing this over here. We'll come back around to that. But perhaps you've had a really busy workload and things are finally starting to lighten up, or you've made it to a marker, like a point, right? That's the other thing about the Four of Wands, is that you might have like one of those marker points on a trail, right? Like you've made it to one of these marker points. And so there's something to acknowledge there within yourself. There's something to appreciate yourself for having made it to this point, for what you've had to go through. And also the reason I'm partially saying that is because we see the Four of Swords, right? And the Four of Swords is about this taking some respite from the stress, from the workload, from the world, working things through and having some downtime, some time to rest and rejuvenate. And sometimes that can be with people, but this is more about like that quiet time with yourself, like going on a walk and taking things at a slower pace, creating some of that self-care time for yourself so that you can work through what's coming in the next phase, right? So it's like, this has all been a lot and it's not done, like certain aspects of it are done, but then you're moving into like another stage. And so rest, rejuvenate, and maybe even like it's part of this could be a project, maybe this is all part of the same project, and needing to get some sense of what comes next, strategizing, but not from this stressful place, not from an overburdened place. Okay, so wanting to get in that kind of that time, that rest time. I'm feeling very strongly like this is tied into, like, it almost reads like spiritual advice. So either this is the energy that you're already in or moving into, and then this is like the spiritual advice and it's connected somehow. So let's jump to the challenges. We see the Five of Pentacles with the World card. Now, the Five of Pentacles is about this feeling of feeling all alone in the world, feeling like it's all on you. Sometimes it's called the victim card, right? But it's about feeling like it's all on my shoulders. I have to do it alone. It's all on me. I'm alone in this. No one can help me. And not asking for the help that we need when we need it, and not recognizing that we have the help available to us when we need it as well. Right? So going towards that, like that's somehow there's been like a weight, a heaviness of taking it all on for yourself. And then we have the World card that is with it, right? Now the World card in a challenging position like this is like resistance to allowing things to shift and change. It's like, this is a completion card. It's the completion of a cycle, right? And so when it's in this position, it's like resisting the cycle, like we're resisting acknowledging that the cycle needs to turn over, that you need to like move into the next steps, right? And so whatever this was before, that is like that version of it, or that part of it. Like, let's say that we're talking about a project, right? This part of the project is done, it's finished, and you're moving into the next phase, right? So you have to allow that to go, to move into the next phase. But there's something about like taking on too much, feeling like you're taking on too much, and not feeling like it's not done yet. It's not, I haven't finished this with this yet. I'm not done with it yet, right? Not feeling like you personally are done with this particular phase, and that kind of resistance that comes with that. And that can be really heavy, right? Like that kind of resistance can be pretty heavy. So, and this can also indicate like, running into restrictions or limitations and not feeling like you can freely move on from things. Maybe you feel like it's not you that's wanting, like resisting the cycle changing. Maybe there are other people like collaborators or business partners or coworkers or other people that are involved that are not making it easy for you to allow that to let go of that. This can also be about perfectionism, like it's not perfect, so I can't let it go. I can't move forward with this because it's not done yet, right? And being overly protective about something, whatever this cycle has to do with. So that's what I'm seeing here. And then partly like, so what I'm also seeing, and this is why I've been talking about this and coming back to this card over and over again, is the 10 of Wands. And as you can see in the card, it's like, this is way too much for her to carry, right? On her back, carrying the weight of the world, right? Everyone else's dreams, or even her own dreams, if this is just her own, but it's just carrying so much weight, and that's not sustainable. Like this position and how she is, that's not sustainable. So you have to drop some of the weight. Your spiritual advice that's coming through is just one card. It's very simple. It's very pointed. It's like, here's the advice, right? Very clearly. Everything else, you had more cards show up, but this is very clear that there is too much weight. You need to drop some of the weight that you've taken onto your shoulders. You need to take care and like have some time, some respite from the stress, from the heaviness, from the stress, from the workload, from whatever it is. And maybe you feel like, because we saw that was showing up in the wheel of Fortune, right? Maybe you feel like there's no time, there's too much happening, there's too much change happening, I don't have the space and the time for it, I'm taking on all this stuff. I get it. And that there's still a way to find, like, delegate out some things, delegate things out to other people, find a way through this experience where you can offload some of the weight. You know, some of the weight that we carry with us is sometimes just our idea about how it needs to be, how it has to be. Like, we know that's not like, I want it to all be perfect, or I want it to all be this way. I can't let go of that because this is definitely a vital part of this project or this idea or this, you know, business or whatever it is. And sometimes we have to just get to a point where we say, okay, like, enough is enough. You know, you can't have it all at the same time, can't do everything all at the same time. That's just the way that it goes. So, you know, you might need to just put some of this down for now, and you can come back and pick it up later when you've been able to work through some of the other pieces. But they're very clearly telling you this is too much weight. It's not sustainable. So you need to find a way to get some help, ask for some help, right? Okay. All right, Pisces. I feel like that is pretty clear. All right, let's take a look at love. Love. You know I like looking at love. All right, what's going on for Pisces with regard to love in the month of April? All right. So we got 3 cards here. Center these right around here. Okay. And then what's going on with the challenges? What challenges are there with love? And then what's the spiritual advice when it comes to dating, love, relationships for my Pisces? All right. We got another 3. So interesting. It's like 313. I feel like the numerology is kind of speaking for you guys today, for this month. All right. Then, as we've been doing, we're going to take a look at the Goddess and God cards. Now, with the Goddess and God cards, once again, if that is your belief structure and you believe in gods and goddesses, awesome. Then these are your homies. They're the ones who have your back and they're going to support you through this month. If that's not part of your belief structure, think about them like archetypes who have certain kinds of strengths that you can embody and utilize, emulate through the month to help you through any of the challenges that you're experiencing, to help you navigate, right? So they got your back. Feeling it coming through. It's like almost there. All right. Okay. So next we're going to look at what is coming through your ancestors or your guides, giving them more voice. While we do look at spiritual advice in this, I feel like this is more of a direct line where we're not looking at spiritual advice through something general or through business and finance and all the things. This is more just like a direct line. And it is a shamanic oracle deck, so I do find that it has, like, it's kind of heavy on the ancestry sometimes, but I feel like it's another way for them to have voice. For whatever reason, I've been connecting with that deck more and more that way. So then we're also going to take a look at what's going on in the shadow realms. What are the blind spots that are coming up for you? These are the ways which we, like, trip ourselves up as human beings, right? Like, we have our shadows and we tend to trip ourselves up with our shadows. And this is how we can, like, look at the things that we're either blind to or that we are aware of, but we go, I can put that off. I don't need to really work on that. And we have no idea that if we worked on that, it would actually make a lot of things move and put momentum in the right directions for us and free a lot of energy up. And then we're going to look at a rune as well. So I'm going to continue this reading over on Patreon. and you're welcome to join me over there. Links for everything else that I mentioned at the beginning is down below for how to book a reading, how to get the extended reading that's here, how to get a discount off of a one-to-one reading with me, and all of the other like special things. So, all right, I will see you next month, Pisces. Bye.